Hello everyone. We know that all living things need food. Why do they need food? Living things need food to live and grow because food provides us energy to live and to grow. So in the previous video we studied about danger of wildlife trade and need of wildlife protection. One reason for protecting wildlife is that because they form an important part of many food chain. If they are killed, if animals are killed, many animals in that food chain can be affected. So we study in detail about food chain, that what is food chain, what is food web, and what are the difference between food chain and food web. Now we should know about that what is food chain and what is food web. Food chain. The food chain is a system where a small animal is the food of the larger animal, which in turn again is the food for an even larger animal. That means food chain is a process of who eats whom. So we know that all living things need food to give them the energy to grow and move. So a food chain shows how each living thing gets its food. It shows who is eating whom. And you should know a food chain always starts with a green plants. So all plants are producer, which is eaten by an animal. So all the animals in a food chain are consumers. And plants are called producers because we know that plants make or produce their own food by photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight. But animals cannot make their own food. They get energy by eating or consuming other organisms. So they are called consumer. And do you know, the sun is very important for all living things. Without the sun, the plants would not grow, and without plants, there would be no animals. For example, leaves are eaten by caterpillar, which is eaten by a frog. That means caterpillar is eaten by a frog, and frog is eaten by a snake, and a snake is eaten by owl. And if we destroy one link in a food chain, that means if any one of the animal is killed, we might destroy the whole food chain. The whole food chain will be destroyed. So we have to protect wildlife. And food chains are found in all habitats such as desert, water or plains. You can take some other examples like tree which is eaten by deer, and again deer which is eaten by lion. Then you can take example of flower which is eaten by butterfly, and then butterfly is eaten by frog, and frog is eaten by snake, and snake is eaten by eagle. And for aquatic animals you can take examples. Aquatic plants is eaten by fish, and again a small fish is eaten by larger fish, and larger fish is eaten by swan. So food chains are found in all habitats, whether it is of desert, water or plains. And most animals are part of more than one food chain and eat more than one kind of animals in order to meet their food requirements. And these interconnected food chains form a food web. So food webs show how plants and animals are interconnected in many ways to help them to survive in nature. So you can see in the picture that how plants and different types of animals are interconnected. for the food requirement. Now there is a question, what is the difference between food chain and food web? So the food chain is a process of who eats whom. A food chain shows how each living organism gets its food, and food chain only follows just one path as animals find food. As for example, an owl eats a snake which has eaten a frog, and frog has eaten a grasshopper, and grasshopper has eaten grass. But food web consists of many food chains. For example, an owl might also eat rat, squirrel, a frog or some other animals, and the snake may eat a beetle, a caterpillar or some other animals, and so on for all other animals in the food chain. So the food chain only follows just one path, but a food web consists of many food chains and shows how plants and animals are interconnected in many ways to help them to survive in nature. So we see that if we killed one animal, one link in the food chain, we might destroy the whole food chain. Many animals are being affected due to the activities of man. Men are destroying a number of food chain and thereby disturbing the food chain. And all these activities not only affect the animals, these are affecting man too. We humans are also affected. So let us be more considerate towards animals. Let us not be cruel towards them. So what we humans can do to prevent cruelty towards animals? We humans should follow some directives, like we should not throw polythenes and polythene bags in the garbage, because stray cattle can swallow and may die because of polythene bags. Do not put birds in cages and fish in aquarium. And if you have pets, then give them proper care and love. And put some water in earthen bowl and keep it outside, especially in summer season. You will see and notice that many birds come and will quench their thirst. And you should visit and support your local animal rescue organization. And do you know about PETA, P-E-T-A, PETA? That means People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. It is the largest animal rights group in the world. And PETA's slogan is that animals is not for us to eat, to wear, to experiment on, or use for entertainment. This organization focuses on 4 care issues, and they are factory farming, fur farming, animal testing, and animals for the use of entertainment. So treat animals with kindness and respect and be a good role model.